What is happening, guys? It is DanielAds1989. Welcome back to the Hereford United career. This is episode 78 into next season. As you guys know, in the last episode we wrapped up the end of the season. We finished in third place in the Premier League, as you can see here, in third place. And then we also won the UEFA Europa Conference League 2-1 against Valencia. Today's episode is about wrapping everything up, showing you who won what, giving out our awards. We will move on into next season. We'll edit all the club like we normally do, and then obviously we will simulate up to the start of the first game of next season and have transfers and all that stuff along the way, so do bear with. Let's start off with the Premier League, guys. Premier League was won by Liverpool. Congratulations to Liverpool. They were far more superior team as they beat us during that time. So they do finish on 82 points after 38 games played, with the top of the table taking the title. Second place shortly followed by Manchester City, as in third place was us. Only 12 points off the title race, bear that in mind, only 12 points off. Chelsea were in fourth place with 68 points, Arsenal in fifth place with 67 points. Relegated from the Premier League going down, Aston Villa, Bournemouth and Norwich all being relegated. Let's do all the cups before we move on to the Championship, League 1 and League 2. So the FA Cup was won by Manchester United, 4-2 against Liverpool. Congrats to Manchester United. Carabao Cup, as you guys know, Chelsea beat us in the final 1-0. We don't need to take another look at that, thank you very much. The Super Cup was won by Atletico Madrid in penalties against Bayern Munich, 5-4 in penalties. Really edge of the seat stuff there. The UEFA Champions League, let's have a look who won the Champions League. PSG against Manchester City, 2-0 to PSG. Congratulations to them on the Champions League. The Europa League, let's have a quick look who won. The Europa League was won by Barcelona against Juventus, 2-1 to them. Congrats to Barca winning the Europa League. Obviously, you guys know the UEFA Europa Conference League was won by us, 2-1 against Valencia. We lifted the silverware there. And that's all the trophies handed out there. Let's have a skip over to the other leagues, go to Championship and then League 1 and League 2. So coming up to the Premier League is Leeds and Fulham getting automatic promotion. To fight it out in the playoffs will be Sheffield United, Watford, Stoke and Brentford. Being relegated from the Championship is Derby County, Middlesbrough and Cardiff going down. League 1 going up from there into the Championship will be Huddersfield and Sunderland. Fighting out in the playoffs will be AFC Wimbledon, Portsmouth, Fleetwood Town, Blackpool. Going down into League 2 will be Crewe Alexandra, Shrewsbury, Walsall and Cheltenham Athletic. Let's have a look at League 2. League 2 going up is Cheltenham Town, Exeter City and Morecambe. Fighting it out in the playoffs will be Accrington Stanley, Carlisle United, Gillingham and Scunthorpe United. And what would have been going down to the Conference League, but obviously it's not there, would have been Stevenage, Harrogate and Sutton United. So guys, that's all the leagues all done and complete, and who won what and who won which trophy. So time to move on to our awards. I'm sure you guys know who is going to get goalkeeper, so we don't even need to go there. So Josh Griffiths obviously has been hands down man of the match, man of the season, man of the moment, penalty stopper legend. I can't give this man enough praise. I've said it before, if you are doing a FIFA career, buy Josh Griffiths. He's not the most highly rated, but in the game he is unbelievable. So normally at this point I would move on to the player of the season. I don't need to move on, guys. I'm sure you will agree with me that anybody on the pitch who has been brilliant all season, it has to go to Josh Griffiths. Not only does he get the goalkeeper of the season, I'm giving him the player of the season as well, because if it wasn't for Josh Griffiths, we would not be where we are in the Premier League, and I will show you why. If you go over to the stats, which bear in mind, Premier League, you've got to give it to him. Let's go to, that's red cards, yellow cards, let's go to clean sheets. As you can see here, who is at the top of the table for clean sheets? It is the one and only, oh, I'm gonna flipped over there, the one and only Josh Griffiths. 13 clean sheets out of 34 games, even ahead of Alisson, and Liverpool won the title. I am not selling Josh Griffiths or changing his position for anybody else anytime soon. just have a quick look at the assists one. In 5th place, Conor Gallagher with 8 assists, and the goals as well. If you look right down in 13th, there is Kirk Wilson in 13th for the goals as well. So that is the goalkeeper and the player of the season done in one. So now moving on to the goal of the season. There was some really, really good contenders. Amadou did one not so long ago from outside the box, floated it right over the top of the goalkeeper. I can't remember which game, you guys will have to jog my memory, but that was an absolute blinder. Kirk Wilson has had 13 goals this season. Some of them have been brilliant. But for me, there was one goal that stood out a mile above any other, just because of the sheer fact of how it was done. Harry Wilson scored an absolute blinder against Manchester United when we beat them 1-0. It was a very, very tight-knit game, and if you remember, he took it down with a beautiful touch, and it hit the underside of the crossbar and beat Pickford. It was an absolute screaming goal, so if you haven't seen it or you missed it, I will show it for you now. Tackling. I'm going to try and send this over to Harry Wilson on the far side, who's completely free and takes a brilliant first touch if he can get an effort away here, which he can, and he can put us 1-0 ahead. What a finish that is from Harry Wilson. Congratulations to Harry Wilson. What a finish that was. So, moving on then, guys, that is all the standings, who's won everything, who's gone up, who's gone down, who's won all the trophies and all the awards handed out. I feel the need now to move on into next season. If you wish to leave me a comment about anything about this season, go ahead and do so. Leave me a comment. I shall now move on into next season. So as you guys know, it can take a minute or two to set up in next season, so I'm just going to let everything do what it needs to do. We've got a couple of players returning from loan, Jordan Best returning from loan, and also Bray returning from loan from Sheffield United. I will be interested to see how much he has grown. So let's end the season, and that's that season done. As you can tell, they fully respect me, of course, because you know we've taken them up nearly every time, and we finished third. So let's advance now. Like I said, this can take a minute or two. I will see you at the start of next season. At the start of pre-season then, guys, as I've always said, when I get to this point, I'll make it short and sweet. Make sure you always choose one of the pre-seasons. Don't skip it, because all you need to do is simulate the games. You give your players sharpness, you give them team experience, and also you get a percentage of the prize money even if you get knocked out. So I'll leave you there because I've explained that a few times now. You should know what you're doing. I'm just going to go with this one right here. Obviously you can see 8.7 million. Even if we get knocked out, we're getting a percentage of it. Moving into this season, we have the club to edit, as you guys know. We always do it every year. I give you a fresh kit and I give us a fresh look. So as far as anything goes, we don't need to change Edgar Street Stadium because it looks absolutely perfect the way it is. I'm not going to change it, so I'll just go ahead and change the kits very quickly and I'll be right back with you. And here they are then, guys, the brand new kits for you to have a look at. I really wanted to do something different this season instead of just going with our traditional. I wanted to keep the colour theme but really do something different. As you can see with the red one right here, we have gone with the black and red stripes. It's just not stripes as such. It's kind of like a retro looking kit. I really do like it and it looks awesome. As you can see, we've kept the same theme with the home kit. We've gone all white with the black after, and I've had to go the red numbers on the back of the shirt and on the shorts for them to stand out a little bit more. But I really do like this season's kits. I like how we've gone with something a bit different and it really does stand out. So as we said, Edgar Street Stadium, same, the crest stays the same, and two new kits for you to have a look at. Let's advance at the start of the season. Here we go then. We have a lot of work to do. If we want to challenge for that title this season, we have got to make some big transfers. The question is, are the board going to give me the money to do it, or am I going to have to sell one or two starters to bring in maybe some more strength? So as you can see here, I'll go to the second day so that we can have a look at the transfer list, have a look at any free agents, if anybody's been let go. We didn't get very lucky last season with free agents. I'm hoping that's not going to be the case this season. We'll be able to get hold of somebody and get some decent players in. So let's have a look how much they have give us. How much have you give us for this season? Transfer open. They're not letting me know, are they? keeping us in suspense at how much they've given us. Let's have a look in the office. We have been given 116 million, which I can probably play around with it and say 110 million. I can certainly do some work with that. We also could move 1 or 2 players on out of the starting lineup who are not strong enough, I think, to be in the starting lineup. So what I will do is I will leave you here just for a moment, guys. I'll go and do some hunting. I'll try and find some stronger players, and I will come back to you with what I think. There we go then, guys. Research all done. For you it only took a second. For me it took me a long minute. Bear with. So some of these players we've already scouted. Some have already got their stats. Some are being scouted by our scouts, and some are on the free agent list. Some are for sale, blah blah blah. So I'll tell you each individual player and why I've got them on there. Acosta, the goalkeeper. I am thinking about moving on Mcneal to get the cash off him. If we can get an extra 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 million for him, it's more in the bank. So bringing him in for free as a backup goalkeeper, making some extra cash. Lamptey, I want to bring Lamptey in as our permanent right back. He's somebody that I've wanted to bring in for a season or 2 now. We haven't had the money. Now we do have. He's going to be a little bit expensive, but I think I should be able to steal him for a little bit less. So we'll see how that works out. That's a definite. Also, Ethan Laird. Ethan Laird is actually at Manchester United in real life. He hasn't been offered a contract. I am going to bring him in as well to be a backup to Lamptey and move Paslac on and get some extra cash for Paslac. David Kamu, he is at Valencia, and we went against him in the UEFA Europa Conference League, and he was solid as a rock, 6'5". If I bring him in and he goes next to Mings, that's 2 6'5" defenders we will have. We will be solid as a rock at the back. So I've definitely got my eye on him. Martinez is another one that I'm looking at. He's got really good stats. Depending on his stats, I might go with him, but he's only 6 foot, so I am leaning towards Kamu than Martinez. Adams is somebody who is on the free agent list. He plays centre defensive mid and centre mid. His stats look okay. I'm going to wait for his scout report to come back. I might bring him in as a backup because we're going to need squad depth this season. Another player who has caught my eye, Dominguez. He is at Olympiacos, centre mid. I want somebody to go next to Conor Gallagher, who is going to be on Conor Gallagher's level. Dominguez looks like he is on Conor Gallagher's level, so he is a high priority to bring in. Again, a little bit expensive. I should be able to get him cheaper. It's his wage that's going to bump it up a bit. Another player I could bring in, Kenneth Taylor. He's at Ajax. He looks really good. His stats look really well. 24 years of age. Good solid centre mid. We might be able to bring him in as well. Another thing we need to bring in, a solid striker. Torre looks really good. Now, what looks really good about Torre is, have a look at his strength. He's got 91 strength, but he's got 88 sprint speed. And he's also got, where is his acceleration? He's got 80 acceleration, 88 sprint speed, and 91 strength. This guy could be a unit up top and provide some goals. I'm also looking at this guy. I'm not going to try and pronounce his last name because I'm just not going to be able to say that. So I think his first name is Suleiman, so we'll call him Suleiman for now. He is also on the free agent list, so we'll wait for his scout report to come back, and he might just be as good as Torre, but I am leaning towards Torre because of his strength and how quick he is, so I think he will be a unit up front and supply some goals. So that's where we stand there, guys. The first deal I'm going to try and make happen, I want to bring in Lamptey. There's no ifs or buts about it. He's coming in. Welcome to the club, Tariq Lamptey. He is here, guys. You will not believe this deal. As you can see, his value 39.5. We paid 37.5. I paid under value, and he also took a wage cut. He was on 77k at Brighton. He took a wage cut as 65k. No extra signing on bonuses, no nothing. He wanted crucial. He wanted a 5-year deal. He got it. Tariq Lamptey is in for £37.5 million. We have a new starting right back. Speaking of right backs then, guys, I am going to bring in Ethan Laird to be a backup to Tariq Lamptey. He's on the free agent list. He's 79 rated. It would be silly not to bring him in. I'm going to go and sign him. Another deal done and dusted. Ethan Laird is in. Look at his valuation, guys. 20 million. All I've done is offered him a contract. He wanted 40 grand. He wanted a signing bonus of like, I think it was 45 grand. He wanted a 4-year deal. He did want important, which we gave him because obviously I was swapping him in and out with Lamptey. But he's a £20 million player on the free transfer list. Keep your eye out for these bargains. Ethan Laird, welcome to Hereford United. Now then, guys, more importantly, we lost Aubameyang because he retired at the end of the season, as you guys know, so we need another striker. To be honest, I don't really want to wait around for Sullivan's scout report to come back. I want to bring somebody in now, so Torre looks like the man for me, just because of his strength. 91 strength, 88 sprint speed and 80 acceleration. This guy looks like a unit up front. He's 6 foot, and I reckon this guy could be our goal scorer. We missed out on the opportunity to not sign Edouard. I don't want to miss out on a signing like this guy. Now, he is going to cost a little bit, so I might try and sweeten the deal by either swapping a player or try something. So bear with and I will let you know. £38 million Torre is in. We have a new number 9, guys. I am really excited about this signing. £38 million on the nose. He wanted 64k in wages. He wanted critical. He wanted 5 years. I gave it all to him, and he is in. We have a new number 9. I can't explain to you how much of a good feeling I have about this guy. I think he's going to be our top goal scorer this season. So, Torre, welcome to Hereford United. Next on the agenda then, guys, as you can see, £32 million left. I want to get one more deal done before we move forward and all the other transfers for our players start to come in. Now, the only reason I am choosing this player over the other one, so David Kamu is the guy I'm going to go with instead of Dominguez. Dominguez I was very interested in bringing in to go next to Conor Gallagher in midfield. Now, in midfield, we're still very strong with Tyler Wall, and we have O'Reilly as a backup. If either of those two get a bid, then with that money I will bring in Dominguez. But for now, I think David Kamu will be a much better fit and strengthen our back line. We've got a new striker, we've got a new right back, I want a new centre back to go in, and we've strengthened the positions where I think we needed strengthening. So I'm going to go for David Kamu. I'll be back in a minute. How about this for a deal then, guys? As you can see on your screen, I have just paid nothing for David Kamu. I offered £25 million for him, and Valencia came straight back at me with a swap deal for Bradley Locke. They were interested in Locke, and they wanted £2.5 million as well. So I said, well, if you're interested in a swap deal, then I'll just do you a straight swap. You take Locke, we'll take David Kamu. They accepted. So I've paid nothing at all for David Kamu, and we've swapped him straight out for Locke. So we still have the money in the bank that we had before to bring in another player. As you can see, transfer budget untouched. Obviously, we had to offer him his wages, but I have just done a swap deal with Locke. Locke has now gone to Valencia, and David Kamu is here and our new centre-back. What about that for a deal? Let me know in the comments, guys. So, moving on to the next deal, guys. As we didn't pay any money for David Kamu, I am still very, very interested in Dominguez. Now, we're a little bit short money-wise. We have 33. He's going to cost between 38 and 55. So I'm going to wait for 1 or 2 sales to come through. Obviously, we've signed a couple of new players now, so we're going to get some sales through. Dominguez is the next target, but in the meantime, I am not going to wait to bring in Acosta, even if he is lower rated than Rob Mcneal. I'm still going to bring him in as a backup because I'm only going to play him in the cup games anyway, because Josh Griffiths is our number 1 goalkeeper. So I'm going to go in and sign Acosta blindly, and then obviously when we've made a few sales, Dominguez will be the next target. Acosta is in, guys. As you can see, we went in blindly. He is 70 rated, so he's obviously no better, no worse than Mcneal. They're the same rating. He's a little bit older, so his stats are a little bit better. He is just a backup goalkeeper. Josh Griffiths will be number 1, and now Acosta will be number 2, and hopefully we can move Mcneal on. So I will show you the plan from here. So as we said, we've still got a little bit of money in the kitty, but for the next player that I want to bring in, Dominguez, to sit next to Conor Gallagher in midfield. We're just a little bit short on cash. So as you can see, the deals that we have done so far: Lamptey, we brought in Torre, we brought in David Kamu on a swap deal for Locke, we brought in Ethan Laird on a free, we've also just brought in Acosta. So obviously 5 new faces in. As you can see, transfer listed, I have put Paslac on the transfer list. I've also put Thomas on the transfer list, guys, because I have swapped over Tommy Doyle to the left-back position, and I've also got Kolasinac as a backup, and Thomas is still injured and out for a good few months. If I can sell him and get the money for him, I'd rather do that. Obviously, Banks still on there, Mcneal still on there, and then with the signing of David Kamu, Malang Sarr will drop to the bench, so Miranda won't have a place here, so I've put him on the bench as well to try and make some extra cash. So that's where we stand money-wise, but I've got a feeling that we're going to get some bids for particularly the likes of Dembele or Riley, maybe even Harry Wilson, so who knows. But what we'll do is I'll start simulating forward, and if I get to the first game, we get there, but I would imagine we'll get some sort of transfer offer. I told you the transfers were coming, but I didn't think it would be for Tommy Doyle, which it is, guys. So Tommy Doyle is still part of my starting 11, but if they are willing to offer me the kind of money that I can bring in a higher rated player with, I might just do that. And obviously it's Valencia, because Valencia we've got history with already with the David Kamu deal and Locke. What I'm going to do is I'm going to delegate this and ask for at least 30 and then stop at 25. So I'm going to delegate, should I say. I'm going to put it at 30 million, and then I'm also going to put it at 25, so not to sell less than 25. If they offer me that kind of money, we will let him go, because we have good reason to, in the fact that we've just brought in Ethan Laird, who can also play left back and right back, and I have also still got Kolasinac, so we wouldn't be necessarily weaker. We kind of need the money more, so let's see how that deal pans out. Simulated forward one more day, and it looks like Tommy Doyle is at the top of certain people's list to buy. So again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to delegate, and I'm going to ask for 30 million, and I'm going to do at least 25. So depending on who is that interested in him, depends on who's going to pay for him. It looks like he is going to make his way out the club, but we do have a replacement to replace him. Also, Arsenal have asked for Conor Gallagher. Now, given the status of we want to win the Premier League this season, that is the target for this season, normally I would say, okay, it's Arsenal, they're a bigger club than us, but we finished ahead of them last season, and I need Conor Gallagher to win the Premier League, or at least try and win it this season anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and reject that because he's going nowhere. Another transfer offer, guys. This time it's for Josh Griffiths. I don't care who it is who comes in for Josh Griffiths. I don't care if Real Madrid or Barcelona or Bayern Munich come in for him. He's going nowhere. Josh Griffiths is our star, our #1 star from last season. He's going nowhere, so I'm going to get rid of that. We have also finally arrived at the first game of pre-season, which, what's that? We don't have enough players. Okay, that means you forfeit 3-0. How don't we have it? Oh yeah, because some of the players are still on international duty. That's what it is. That's ruined pre-season. As you can see, David Kamu is still on international duty. Wilson is still on international duty, and Thomas is injured. We probably could have replaced those players in the starting 11, to be fair. We've had to forfeit one of the games because of this situation, but never mind, it's only pre-season anyway. We didn't expect to win it, and you always get a little bit of cash. Let's see if that works for the next one. We've had to forfeit a game, guys, at pre-season, as you do, you know, just go through pre-season and forfeit games, so I might as well advance while I'm on with you and see if we get any more transfers. We should be able to play this one. It's saying don't forget to use the substitutions. Thank you for reminding me. We've also got the youths. We will go through them in a minute. We will try and simulate this one and see if it'll allow me to simulate. It will allow me to simulate. So we forfeited the first one because we had players in the lineup that we're on international duty. Okay, cheers FIFA. Leave me a comment about that one, guys. A bit weird that really, wasn't it? But we get a 2-1 victory in the second game, so even though we'd lost the first game, we have dragged it back in the second game, so bit of a strange one, but we'll take it. And like I said, even if you lose pre-season and you get knocked straight out, it doesn't really matter, because pre-season you'll still get money anyway. And as you can see here, oh, in fact, we didn't forfeit, they forfeited. Okay, those are spinner things. I thought we forfeited, not Borussia Dortmund. Okay, Borussia Dortmund forfeited. Never mind, we're definitely going through. For Miranda, where is Miranda going? Miranda, it's overvalue. I'm not even going to bother arguing. Miranda can make his way out of the club. Miranda is certainly on the move, guys. That's another one there. We will have a quick look through the youths here. Who've we got? He could be a possible, but no, not going to turn out good enough. No, I've just signed in by accident. Didn't mean to. Never mind. Nope, not going to sign him. Not good enough. Not good enough. Not good enough. Nope. Nope. We've not really found any good youths. Usually there's one or two that sneak in that you think, oh yeah, he might be alright. He might be alright. We'll have a look at him. Not going to be good enough. Lawson, maybe. He might be alright. We've got a couple of players in the youth academy, but like I said, our goal for this season, hopefully, we'll have a look at Newton. Our goal for this season, hopefully, is to win the Premier League. So I'll simulate forward to the last game against Inter. If there's any transfer news, I will let you know. No transfer news on the way to the game, guys. As you can see, I've fully rotated the side. Players are at a position and everything. I've just done it to keep everybody fit for the next game and obviously give people game time. But with Borussia Dortmund forfeiting to us, which I thought it was us forfeiting, it was actually Borussia Dortmund forfeiting, we should go through anyway. So even if we lose this game, which we don't, we actually get a 3-3 draw against Inter. Best scored, they got 2-3-1 up, and then Robert scored, and Robert scored a brace at the end of the game to get us back in it and get us a draw. So we will go through in pre-season and progress. That just really strange. That really threw me off. I thought we'd obviously forfeited, but it wasn't. It was Borussia Dortmund that would forfeited. And as you can see there, Tommy Doyle, I did convert him to a left back, so I don't know what's going to go on cash wise with him now. He might not end up going, but as you can see here, breaks down with Tommy Doyle, so he might not be going anywhere at the minute. We've got a little bit of money through doing that. So what I will do is I will change him. We'll keep with our plan, because obviously if the transfer's not going to go through for him and they're not going to pay that money, then I will still keep him in the left back position. There he is at left back now instead of the right back position. I'll just put him on defensive to keep his defensive work going up. He's been a brilliant player, to be honest, Tommy Doyle. I don't really want to lose him, but obviously getting the money to bring in the likes of Dominguez might just be a little bit more important. So I'll simulate forward while I'm on with you. We're into the semi-finals. It looks like we've got a few bits and pieces to deal with here. So one of the final reports has come back, 71 rated. He's definitely not going to be good enough. We'll get rid of that. Miranda has gone now. He has gone a little bit more cash into the fund. We have a transfer offer for, looks like, is that Kirk Wilson? Kirk Wilson is going nowhere. They have offered us a player as well, 30-year-old centre-back. We don't need a centre-back, thank you very much. Kirk Wilson will be going nowhere. And it looks like we've also got an offer for Dembele to go. But Dembele was one of our star players last season, and he is going to be essential to helping us win the Premier League this season. So he also is going nowhere. We are having a very, very busy window, as you can see here as well. They're not interested in Tommy Doyle now. Tommy Doyle looks like he is staying at the club, which suits me down to the ground, not a problem. I'd rather keep Tommy Doyle than move him on, and we are getting cash from other places, so we might be able to bring in Dominguez after all. As you can see, back to our full starting lineup to go through possibly and win this. We'll go ahead and simulate our new away kit on show there. 3-1 victory. We've really kicked on pre-season as I wanted to go on. Torre getting the first goal, getting on the score sheet. It's definitely what we expect from a £38 million striker. They equalised. Dembele, as you can see, why I'm not getting rid of him. Dembele on the score sheet and Kirk Wilson on the score sheet. In pre-season, we are looking good. I'm just hoping that when we start the actual season, we will kick on and be at that next level of where we started at last season. So as you can see, through into the final, I would presume that was Inter that won the game there. So we have Inter in the final. So I'll simulate forward and sort everything out. Let's just have a quick look actually. Is there any transfer news here? No, there isn't, just a change of thingy. So what I'll do is I'll simulate forward, guys. If there's any more transfer news, I'll let you know. Another piece of transfer news then, guys. Sheffield United are interested in signing Rob Mcneal. They've offered a roundabout value price for him, just a little bit over. I could ask for more, but I'm not going to argue over a couple of £100,000 over him. Rob Mcneal can make his way out, and that'll be a little bit more money in the kitty. Hopefully we will have enough soon to bring in Dominguez. Let's have a quick look how much we'll have in the kitty. We're nearly getting there. Maybe another sale. We're nearly getting there with Dominguez, but into the final of pre-season. If we can beat Inter, as you can see, everybody is absolutely tired out, so we're going to have to rotate the side here, and Kirk Wilson is still on international duty, as a few other players. I'll have to leave Torre on. I can take Wilson off and give Ethan Laird a run out. Also bring Amadou in. I'll leave Conor Gallagher on, and shall I sit O'Reilly and do it that way, because O'Reilly's quite good defensively, to be fair. And I could give Dembele a run out up top and put Roberts out on the line. I'll do that and give Dembele a go up front, and that should do us. I know we've got one or two tired legs, but it is only pre-season. If we lose, it's no big deal. Let's see if we can beat Inter with a completely changed side. We lost it on penalties, so we are simulating the game. Ward-Prowse actually scored. I didn't know Ward-Prowse was at Inter. Where we are simulating wise, we are on that decent level where we should be winning, you know, the higher end cups and stuff like that, which we did do last season, winning the UEFA Europa Conference League. But oh well, we lose in pre-season in the final, but we will see some cash, and as well, looks like we've got some more transfers. We have set ourselves with a good pre-season ready for the start of the season. Who is this here offering absolute pittance for a swap deal as well? Let's have a look who they've offered there. 29-year-old Cam, I don't think so. Plus that kind of money for Conor Gallagher. Yeah, right, unless you're offering 80 million, I am not interested. So that's pre-season done, guys. What I'll start doing is simulating forward from here, and as you guys know, when we get to the start of the Premier League is where we will cut it off. We have West Ham United in the first game of the Premier League, so we've got a little bit to simulate. If I get any more transfer news, I will let you know, but hopefully we'll make another sale before then, and we might end up with enough to bring in Dominguez. So that's the plan for now. If anything changes, I will let you know. Confirmation, guys, that Rob Mcneal has sold now, so he has completely gone, and Crystal Palace are interested in Josh Griffiths. Well, in the nicest possible way, no. Two more transfers here, guys, to consider. Tyler Wall to go to Leipzig. Now, as we said, we want to bring in Dominguez anyway, so if they are interested and they're going to pay the right money for him, I could get rid of Tyler Wall and bring in Dominguez, and it literally would be a straight swap, because we've still got O'Reilly to sit on the bench. So I'll start it at 50 if they're interested in around 50, and I at least want 45. If they're willing to give that kind of money for Tyler Wall, I will sell Tyler Wall and obviously bring in Dominguez and make it a straight swap, if you like. And also we've had another bid for Kirk Wilson. Now, it's a lot of money for Kirk Wilson. We could ask for a lot more money for Kirk Wilson, but to be honest, he has been the star since the start of this series. If you remember, we brought Kirk Wilson through in League 2, and he started to score goals since then, and he's progressed and been absolutely fantastic for us. So I'm going to say no, 52 million was a lot, and we probably could ask for more for him, but I'm going to say no. More transfer news then, guys. Finally, we have a bid for Paslac. We can move him on now. They have offered in between where his value is, so I'm not going to whinge at this because obviously we've brought in Lamptey, we've brought in Ethan Laird. I am going to move Paslac on. And confirmation there, guys, Paslac has sold, he has gone now, Paslac has left the club. We have also reached an agreement, £46.2 million for Tyler Wall. He has been brilliant and he's given us some memorable goals, definitely, but I think moving him on to bring in Dominguez will be a better move. So I'm going to go ahead and accept that, wait for that deal to go through, and then we're going to bring in Dominguez. And confirmation there, guys, Tyler Wall has left, £46.2 million. We've added £41.5 million to our transfer budget. As you can see, a few people have come in for Josh Griffiths here, and I'm just going to go ahead and reject all of them because, as we said, Josh Griffiths is going nowhere. It's just not going to happen. Josh Griffiths is our number one. He's definitely going nowhere, and I am not interested at all in moving him on. So that's that done. So with the news that Tyler Wall has gone now, let's have a look where we stand in budget-wise. We have £86 million. Well, that hole needs to be filled. Tyler Wall has gone. Dominguez is his replacement. I'm going to bring him in. Welcome to the club, Dominguez. He is Tyler Wall's replacement now, guys. He is going to go side by side with Conor Gallagher in midfield. We paid £38 million for him on the nose. He didn't even want any extra wages. I offered him exactly the same as what he was on at his old club, and he accepted. He accepted a 3-year contract. He wanted crucial, so I gave it to him. I think Dominguez is going to be a brilliant addition to the team, so welcome to the club. After all that transfer news then, guys, we still have £42 million left in the kitty. So after the Dominguez deal, I went into the transfer list to have a quick look if there was any cheap deals, anyone we could swoop in and steal, and have a look at some of the faces that have been added to the transfer list. So I'll start from the top and work my way to the bottom. So Elliot Matazor, I think I'm saying that right, Matazor has been added to the transfer list because of Tottenham. So Tottenham clearly don't want him. He looks like he's got some decent stats. We might be able to swoop in and get a cheap midfielder, as it only says between 50 and 20 million. It might actually be alright. We are scouting him, I'll let you know. Another one that we can try and get is Kenneth Taylor from Ajax. He's 80 rated, looks really decent, his stats look well. We can swoop in and steal him if need be. Royce is at Manchester United and on the transfer list. I know it's obviously 37 years of age now, Royce, but he's still Royce. I might just get him for the sake of it, just because we've got the money, and why not? Origi has also been added to the transfer list, but it looks like he's been accepted somewhere else and he's moving on. Also, Aiden Hazard has been added to the transfer list as well by Real Madrid. I'm tempted just to bring him in because it's Hazard. And as well, Anthony, who we had at the club originally, who we sold on, has also been added to the transfer list, guys, which just thought I'd throw that in there. A nice little flashback of one of our old players. So obviously I'm not going to bring Anthony in because we've had him and we've moved on since then, so I'll remove him off the list. I am really tempted to bring in Hazard and Royce, even at their age, just to be a backup player and play in the cup games. I'm really tempted to do it, so I'll simulate forward. If we get to the first game of the season and they're still there, I might just bring them in for the fun of it. We have arrived at the first game of the season, guys. We have West Ham in the first game of the season, which we will do in next episode. We have a decision to make first, or a couple of decisions to make first. So the starting 11 will not change now. Torre, our new signing, is the striker. He's the number 9. We have Dembele on the left. We have Harry Wilson on the right. We have Conor Gallagher in midfield with Dominguez. We also still have Maitland-Niles sitting in between Mings and Kamu. We also have Lamptey at the right back position and Tommy Doyle left back position and Griffiths in goal. Our starting 11 will not change. That is us now. So we have a decent bench, as you can see. Acosta replacing Mcneal in goal. We still have Malang Sarr on the bench. Amadou, who's been brilliant since we signed him. O'Reilly still on the bench. Kirk Wilson, Fernandez and Roberts on the bench. We've got Kolasinac and Ethan Laird, obviously, for the full-back positions, as well for Tommy Doyle and Lamptey. So, just for some extra legs, and, you know, obviously we're in Europe now, we've got a couple of competitions we're going to be in. I am going to bring in Hazard and Royce just because of the names of who they are. Yeah, they might be 35 and 37, but extra legs, they're not too bad players to bring in at that age, do you not think? I certainly don't. And then if we have enough money left after, I might even bring in Taylor. So it looks like Origi is going to move on anyway, and I don't think we're going to need him because we've got Kirk Wilson as a backup. So I'll get rid of Origi, and it's still possible that Matazor might be an option as well when his scout report comes back. But for now, I'm going to try and bring in Hazard. £12.5 million. I just brought Hazard into the club. Yeah, £12.5 million. Even at 35 years old, he will still do a job. 55,000 in wages. He wanted rotation. Quite happy for that to happen. Aiden Hazard is a Hereford United player. £11 million on the nose. Royce is now a Hereford United player. Two legends of our era, obviously coming to the end of their careers. I'm not really fussed just to bring them in as extra legs. It's not exactly too bad pair of legs to bring in, is it? 50,000 in wages. He wanted rotation as well. £11 million. Royce and Aiden Hazard are both in at Hereford United. Wrapping things up then, guys, at the end of the episode here. Lamptey is in. Torre is in. Kamu is in. Dominguez is in. Aiden Hazard and Royce are both in. And we've also brought in Ethan Laird at a backup right-back position. We've also brought in a backup goalkeeper in Acosta. We have brought in some really, really good talent and legends at the club as well. That's where we stand on transfers. Obviously, you know the starting 11. We went through it before. And I feel comfortable enough now to wrap the episode up with the press conference as we always do. Our target for this season is to win the Premier League. That is the target. No ifs, no buts about it. We need to win the Premier League. We brought in some really good players we built on last season, and we had a top 3 finish last season. We've got to try and do it this season, and also, as they're asking now, can you make it in Europe this season? We certainly will give it a go. I am more bothered about the Premier League and want to lift that Premier League trophy. So yeah, I'm not really bothered about Thomas as he's still injured and will be out for a few more months yet. So, and Kirk Wilson, don't worry about him, he will certainly keep his position. It's not about the money, definitely not. We've got a big offer for Kirk Wilson. He's moving nowhere. It's not about the money, it's about loyalty to the club, because Kirk Wilson started with us in League 2 and we will finish out with Kirk Wilson. As you can see here, Dominguez completing his development already. I want him a box-to-box midfielder so that he gets up and down the pitch well. So then, guys, leave me your comments on all the new signings. Leave me your comments of everything that's happened in the window. Leave me your comments on the new faces we've brought in. Obviously, we've been through all the faces and everything that we've brought in. Do you think we've had a good transfer window? Do you think we've had a bad transfer window? Do you think we've got potential to win the league this season? Leave me your comments, leave me your thoughts, and we will go into the Premier League in the next episode. Really excited to get my hands on this new feel of this team and some really good quality in the team now. So, like I said, guys, leave me a comment, drop me a thumbs up. Thank you very much for tuning in. I will see you at the start of the Premier League in the next episode. It's been DanielAz1989. Love you, bye.